Okay, we're at the Appomattox, is that how you say it?
Yep.
Courthouse, and it is a park. So we're going to go look at it and everything, but we're noticing here from the map, there is all kinds of houses. Some are original, some aren't, some are reproduced in the 1940s. Some of them were reproduced in the 1800s, right after the war. So it is it's what I thought it was and what Jim thought it was is just, we're just going to go there. There's a little courthouse with this McCleary, and I thought McLean was the same as the courthouse, and this is just where he surrendered, and that's it. It's an actual village.
I'm gonna hit the road to see what I can see. I'm gonna hit the road to be what I can be. I'm so tired of looking at this wall. I'm breaking free. I'm gonna do my thing. Baby, won't you come with me? I'm gonna do my thing.
Can you see the courthouse?
I don't know.
That red building. It's this way.
Oh, that's courthouse?
Yeah, that's the courthouse. That building. See that building right there? That's the
Oh, okay.
That red building is the courthouse, which is where we're supposed to start, which is the visitor center. And I guess they said that even though the signing was in the McCleary house, which is over here, the White House, that's where Grant and Lee surrendered and signed the end of the war. Stuff continued all around this courthouse area for days after the war was supposed to be over. So it's like a whole little village.
Okay, this is the courthouse, and it's also the visitor center here for the park. And of course, we're here at the COVID is still going on, and they want you to wear masks.
Oh no, it's 2022. They're saying because it's a federal building, we have to wear a mask. The whole town is still set up. Like, they've saved a lot of the buildings of the original town.
There's the merchandise store.
Yeah, so we're gonna go tour it, and if we see anything interesting, we'll film it. And that's the tavern. And then if Jim pans around behind him, that is the kitchen for the tavern.
This one is.
No, the brick one.
Each of these buildings has got like a little museum full of artifacts. Now it's a museum store.
That is the tavern's guest house. And the little white building by the kitchen was the slave quarters. That little brown building was a lawyer's office. From the courthouse, if you go to the back, that is the jail. And then there was a bunch of buildings down this way. A lot of them were either houses or, I hate to say it, but slave quarters. And when they were freed, they burnt down a lot of those quarters, which who would blame them? The buildings that are standing are the buildings that were preserved that didn't or were not burnt down, mainly because they were brick, but they were able to survive. And there's some other houses down there. I'm not going to walk all the way down, but it's a whole park. It's the whole village of what it looked like. And when the surrender occurred. So this is the actual jail. As you go up, it's real silly.
Here's the jail. Place you can shackle somebody to the floor. Couple of beds. Windows are barred. Another place where it's got a shackle on the floor.
Okay, the courthouse that we were in burnt down in 1892 and was reconstructed in 1964, so it's not original. The jail we were just in, that burnt down in December of 1964 or 1864 during the war, and was rebuilt right after the war in 1867, I think is when they finished it. The tavern we were in was original. The tavern kitchen is original. The law office is original. What else was we looking at? There's a pier house that's original. If Jim turns around, there's a White House back behind him. That's called the Isabel House. Two brothers built that in 1850. One of them was a U.S. congressman and later served as Speaker of the Confederate Congress. That's original. There's a house back in there. It's called the Kelly House. It's original.
This was Meek's General Store.
It's original too.
They had a lot of bulk items.
It's an original building too.
This is the original building. Big saw blade. Big barrel of molasses. Some sewing stuff, cloth. Tools. Some jars. Kind of neat general store for the time. Big block of Swiss cheese. Big block of probably cheddar cheese. You buy biscuits. Pretty neat.
1893, 1893, spectators trying to make money dismantled it, and it fell through. They couldn't do whatever they wanted to do. They were trying to do like a money, thing.
Like taking the
And-
building apart?
Yeah, they took the whole building apart, dismantled it to make money off of it. Well, that failed. But in 1940, the National Park Service stepped in, got the stuff, went back and built the house on the original foundation.
A clean house. Howdy.
Did you have an opportunity to see our video?
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me give you a little bit of background. The Union troops, the Army of the James, come into this battle on the morning of the 9th. Once they're here, Lee realizes he's trapped. He sends word to Grant that he wants to meet and discuss surrender terms. They have been communicating for the past 2 days about this possibility. So this picture here is the most accurate rendition of the meeting. Like I said, Lee gets here first, so he sits at the marble top table. When Grant needs a surface to write on, they'll pull the small table out from alongside the sofa for him to work at. And like I said, when the meeting's over, the furniture's gonna go. The 2 tables, the 2 chairs, the candlesticks, the inkwell, and the pen are all taken by Union officers. They pay McLean for what they take, so it's not an outright theft of the furniture.
Right.
He makes almost $100 in gold off of this involuntary sale of his furniture.
Yeah.
But, so we know who took what they paid for, where it is today. We have the candlesticks, we have the inkwell over in the courthouse.
Okay.
The pen and the marble top table are with the Chicago Historical Society. The 2 chairs and the small table are at the Smithsonian. So the 2 vases on the mantle were here in 1865. They came back from a great-grandson of the McLeans. The sofa was also here. That came back from a granddaughter of the McLeans. And it has been reupholstered. That's horsehair. That's the original frame.
Mm-hmm.
And on the sofa is a replica of the one item that is truly stolen from the house. The family is upstairs during the meeting. The 7-year-old daughter Lula had left her doll downstairs, and she gets played with during the course of this meeting. Most of the union officers have nothing better to do, so they're just standing around.
Yeah.
So they're passing the doll around, joking about her being a silent witness to the history taking place in this room. And if you look at her face, you can just kind of make it out. She has a pair of eyes, but she has no mouth. That's why she's called a silent witness. She gets stolen by a Major Moore from New York. And in the 1990s, Major Moore's descendants returned the doll to us. She's upstairs in the courthouse.
Oh, cool.
So we have the original doll back also.
Yeah.
So across the hall is the parents' bedroom. Upstairs is converted into the children's bedrooms. 11-year-old son on this side. The daughters are 2, 7, 19, and 20. The 2 older daughters are from Mrs. McLean's first husband. McLean is her second. So this chest of drawers, the crib, the desk near the window, and the clock are said to be McLean items. Upstairs in the girls' bedroom, we have a mantel clock that's a McLean item. Everything else in here is period furniture, but it's not McLean furniture.
It's quite a crib there.
Yeah, it's very nice.
The site where Appomattox sits now used to be a major thoroughfare for the stage that went from Richmond to Lynchville. And when the railroad got built, they built it 3 miles south, was it? Or
3 miles west, I guess.
3 miles west of here, because there was flatter ground. And the stage area here kind of withered and died. They had a tavern where people used to stop at.
The tavern, the one tavern died, but the other one, because of that, the McLean house is kind of big and fancy, and it's because it was originally the tavern, and it went out of business, and then the McLeans bought it 3 years. So it would have been at the same time that the Civil War was going on, the beginning of the Civil War, that they bought that house. So they were newcomers to Appomattox, the village of Appomattox, and when they needed to find a place to surrender, the Union officers seen Mr. McLean out in the yard, and because there wouldn't be, the North or the South or, that whole issue, he was really an outsider to this area. So he agreed to let him use his house to do the surrender. So that's the basic. So if you're into history or like old buildings, and a lot of them are open that you can walk through, like the jailhouse that was built in 1867, you can walk through them. So it's really cool.
They have displays in them too.
Yeah, you can't see
each
it.
one has a display, like a museum display. Some of the artifacts that were here at the time, people returned or that they found here.
Thanks for watching. Please give us a thumbs up and let us know what you thought of this video.